Let's read a little newspaper, shall we? I'm feeling a little salty. Minnesota Star Tribune, October 3rd, 2025. It's Friday. Shutdown effects are multiplying. Senior government officials are privately warning against firings. Trump's going to use this opportunity to fire a bunch of people. The Department of Energy cancels $464 million in grants to Minnesota power lines. They're going to knock it all out. They want us to fight. They want us to kill each other. They really do. They want, that's why they created this MAGA base and just kept lying to them. And they lied to them about liberals, like, oh, these trans people, they're so terrible. And so they wanted us to hate each other. And we can't. You just got to realize that we're friends. The enemy is them. The enemy is the people in power. People who run the media, all of it. They're the enemy. You're not my enemy. If you make less than $2 million a year, you're not my enemy. Oh no. Although if you make $2 million a year, god damn it, share. Armed conflict with drug cartels. They shot out another boat down by Venezuela. A ship, little boat. They said it was a drug running boat. They have no proof of that. They kill a lot of people that get in their way, where they need to make a show of them. I think Charlie Kirk was both of those things. He was getting in their way. He was getting down on Israel. But they also wanted to make a show of him. We killed him. We'll kill anybody. Even if you're a big influencer with lots of power and people are listening to you, they'll kill you if they want to. That's what they do. It's what they've always done. We gotta get together. You know what else we gotta do? First of all, if you're on TikTok, get the fuck off it. You know what I mean? That was just sold to Israel. Palantir's hooked up to it. They're sucking everything out of it. Get off of TikTok. If you're on there, you're stupid. Just do it. This one's probably going to, I think we may all have to go to, sorry. I think we may all have to go over to Blue Sky or something. With degree seekers in decline, liberal arts must prove value. There it is again. Oh, prove value. Education is valuable no matter fucking what. You know what I mean? Shut up, liberal arts, my God. History, English majors, history. Yeah. We like them. I know Republicans don't like them, or at least Trump Republicans don't like them because they're smart and they hate smart people. They just hate them. I think gives them, makes them feel crappy. Ocean anomaly is driving unusual October warmth. We fucked up so bad. Oh yeah, look at this environment. I just walked over to the store through the parking lot. It was full of gas burning cars and multiple cars running. It's 85 degrees out. You know what I mean? You can roll your window down. You're just sitting in there with the air conditioning on, with their car running, not going anywhere. We're fucked. Deadly terror attack at UK synagogue on Jewish holy day. Look at this great big thing. But you know what they don't cover? What Israel's doing to us. I was going to say to Gaza, which they are, and that's horrible, and they do cover that a little bit, But this, it's so terrible, and I know it's terrible because people died, so I get that. But really, front page above the fold, how many dead? killed two. Two people in England were killed, and that gets front page like that. Currently, there are hundreds of thousands of Israelis on the streets protesting their government. Does the Minnesota Star Tribune cover that? Fuck no. No, because Israel doesn't want them to. You know, we're in such a weird place right now. You know, as a country. My God. I mean, Israel's just got us by the balls, and it's not us, of course. You and I. You cheat. Anybody who makes under $2 million a year, $1 million a year. It's not us, you know. But they've got the powers that be by the balls because of all the raping of young women and probably men. I haven't really heard much about that at the Epstein place, but you know, if the Palantir guy's involved, he's gay, so it's probably young men for him. Yeah, they got us by the balls. They got these guys by the balls, not us. We may need a revolution, but that's going to require us to come together. You know, anybody who makes under a certain amount of money, because it's just so sad. You know, they made us hate each other. Like over trans people. Are they really the issue? You know what I mean? It's unbelievable. And it became this huge thing. And there's what, I don't know what percentage of people are trans, but it's a very, 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 very small number of people. And they made us become enemies over that. They're smart. We got to be smarter. Oh, look how much more they put on the synagogue attacker. A whole nother almost top page for the two that died in England. Way to go, Minnesota Star Tribune. Way to get right to the story. You know, you probably get lots of points, though, from Israel on this one. Maybe they'll, I don't know, send you something, a little gift or something, you know. They still cover Zelensky, right? It says Zelensky, Russia endangers Chernobyl. Russia doesn't care either. You know, it's so funny that, you know, as we're coming to a much better realization about where Israel, what they hold over us, Russia has lots of videos of American, powerful American people. You know what I mean? They were doing that for years. They've been doing that. You know, they go over and, hey, let's make a deal with this Trump guy, and all right, well, here's the deal. Okay, let's go celebrate. Woo, let's have some drinks. Hey, we got a hotel room, some girls. You want to meet them? Great. That hotel room also has 14 cameras. Idiots. Fucking idiots. There are so many videos of that fat ass Trump having sex out there. Gross. Gross. And with young girls, I mean, imagine being with young girls he fucked around with, you know? That fat, ugly piece of shit touched your body. They should be given the right to shoot him. You know what I mean? Like, however many young girls and grown up now, they should give them all baseball bats and allow those girls to beat him to death. I was thinking, God, I shouldn't say that, you know, that somebody's going to get mad, but two reasons why that's not going to happen. Number one, no one ever watches my videos. Like, no one. It literally zero on a lot of them, so no one's going to know. And what was the second reason? I can't remember. I'm ADHD. Flotilla headed to Gaza is stopped. Yeah, flotilla, they had food for the Gazans. But the Israelis stopped them and shot the people waiting for the food. That's what Israel does. They just kill innocent people all day, every day. And we support them. We give them $380 billion every year for 9 million people in that country. $380 billion a year. Did you know that Israeli people get free health care? Not us, because we're enemies, aren't we? We hate each other. Trans people. Oh, we hate each other. Oh, you MAGA people are dumb. You don't understand. Oh, you liberals are dumb. You don't understand. They so fooled us. They so fucking fooled us. We still hate each other. I mean, so many people still hate each other. You know? I never hated anybody. Although anybody was full in MAGA, yeah, I don't like that person because that's gross. That shit was gross. And it's one thing, you know, just, you know, hating on trans people for no reason is gross. But I also am saying that, you know, these guys are really good. They know how to like suck people in and get them to believe shit they shouldn't believe. You know, the Republicans are great with messaging, and Fox News is a great, you know, thing. And now they got these other OAN or whatever, and all these others. I mean, they own those people. They own MAGA. They own their brains. You know what I mean? They own their brains. They can make their brains do anything they want. But not if the MAGA folks don't let them. Turn them off, look away, focus on something else. But as long as you watch, you pay attention, you listen to the orange fat boy, they got you by the balls. They got you by the brains. They got you all over. So Flotilla was stopped, and there were you know, American military guys, not military, but foreign veterans on there. All sorts of good people going over there with food and stuff to try to help. I can't remember, 25, 30 ships, something like that. Ships, they're boats, you know. They got stopped. You know, Israel doesn't want to feed. They don't feed them. Feed them. We're going to blow them up. And if kids get most of their skin burnt off and they're screaming in a hospital room, like has happened multiple times, whatever. We're Israel. Fuck you. Survivors of Philippines quake recall moment tragedy struck. You know, 30 years ago, that quake in the Philippines would have just owned the news cycle for a while, you know. Now it's barely, I mean, you know. Oh, 2 people died in oh God, Jews were getting attacked for being Jews. Might want to look closely at who attacked them. You may find out it's another made-up bullshit by the rich right-wing child rapists. I can't believe that we've gotten to that point. I mean, it really is. It really is coming out. You know what I mean? It just is. And it's going to come out. I said this before, and I'll say it again. You can't take this sort of 1930s Nazi way of thinking and all this stuff and try to drop it on a 21st century, internet-connected, you know what I mean, group of people with 600 million guns for 320,000 Americans. No. You can't. Because one by one, we're going to just snap. And you're easy to take care of, you know. Trump's hard, you know, because he's got all that detail, but how are these other fuckers? If you hope to sign up for Grandma's Marathon, too late. It's tomorrow. Or the day after. Oh, yeah. 22nd DWI conviction lands man in prison with 7.5-year sentence. So 22nd conviction. So let's say on the 9th. What did the judge say and do? Or the 14th, you know, 16th. Or the how did this guy get 22 DWIs without, like, so you get one person gets one DWI, one mistake, and they pay for it. This guy gets 22 and he finally goes to prison. He might have gone another time. I haven't read it. 22nd DWI. Yeah, get 7.5 years. I mean, just lock him up forever at that point. You cannot be fucking trusted. You know? I mean, it's like, huh? Parents charged in toddler's death. Unattended girl, 15 months, fell off Roseville balcony. Oh, fuck. People, come on. Oh, 15-month-old girl left alone on a Roseville apartment's balcony fell more than 2 stories to her death. Aisha Ali, 30, and Hanad Hassan Jama, 35, were charged 2 counts of second-degree manslaughter. Wow. You know, I'll have to say, my wife was like just super protective of the kids. And I was less so. I was like, let them go. She might have saved us from one of these things. People suck. Who cares? Trump attempts to justify strikes. Oh, he's talking about the strikes on those boats. Some fucking poor fishermen from Venezuela, they get blown out of the water by, the most powerful nation in the world. No. That's not America, right? I mean, it's not, no. I mean, it's America that a small percentage of the people like, but it's not the America I believe in. So I'm just kind of having a quick look at the letters. Healthcare, one's shaken but not surprised. Political violence. Talking about political violence, people say, the only way to make changes is to take action, take a moment to reflect. Instead of judging, ask questions. Seek for holy envy, not just in others' religions, but their politics, cultures, and identities. Support those who support peace and dialogue, not judgment and ridicule. Show love to your neighbor and even your enemy. The only safe way to destroy an enemy is to make them your friend. Make friends. Nice. Rachel Payne. This is a short one, so I'm going to read it. I don't even know what it's about. Medical science. Let me get my spitine while I'm at it. That's the headline. Thanks to you, Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and the Maha crowd. Laudanum and leeches it is. Lou Baconi. Well, that's weird. Could Trump's tariffs kill the Minneapolis International Film Festival? I think that's the last thing on our minds. I mean, I love the film festival. But with what's going on in the world right now, it's pretty low, on my worry meter. I took the time to write that right now. You know what I mean? Like, with everything that's going on. Teaching skills for using AI is important. Forming character is more important. That's true. You know what I mean? That's the thing, and it's the same AI, and it's the same thing with the internet when it came out, both of those things can do wonderful things, and they can both do evil things. And it's the people that choose what to do on it. You know what I mean? I mean, you could educate yourself on the internet. Easy. There's enough amazing information out there in the form of words and videos and all that stuff, Or you could turn it into evil, or use it for evil, or look at evil things, or, whatever, Same with AI. It can be used for good, and it can be used for bad. And it will be both, right? But yeah, one thing I think that the internet has done is I think that the younger people, Gen Z and some of those, maybe a little older, they grew up online. They grew up online looking at videos of other people in other places, other cultures, other everything, So they see that, there are families in Ghana, who have the same issues here. You know what I mean? Kids go to school, there's issues with the school, one of the kids get in trouble, blah, 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 They argue and fight at night like most families, and they have fun together, and they travel, and they do all this stuff. And they're in Ghana. Hey, they're a lot like us, you know what I mean? They're seeing that. When I grew up, the only thing I knew about people outside of essentially the United States and Western Europe, and I was really into Japan as a kid, kind of still am. So I kind of knew about their culture too. But it was what I read in National Geographic, you know what I mean? Of course, I wasn't reading it back then, I was just looking at the pictures. But yeah, the kids are growing up in a world, they see it, they know. You know what I mean? And maybe that's why, you know, the Republicans and all those folks, Israel, they're acting so heavy right now, because they kind of know the next generation is going, no. Could Trump's tariffs kill the Minneapolis St. Paul International Film Festival? No! No! That's the last straw. Minnesota doesn't lunch shame its kids. That should be the national model. That's Ilhan Omar. She you know, you maybe have heard of her if you're not from Minnesota even. She's one of our representatives, and she's Muslim. I'm sure they want to kill her too, you know. Sick fuckers. Those of us making less than X amount of dollars need to become friends. We need to admit that we don't hate each other, that we have the same problems. You know what I mean? Yeah, you live, you know, off County Road 24, you know, in a little house, and I live in a suburb, in a little apartment, and you know, my friend lives in a house in the city, and you know what I mean? We live different places. We do different things, but mostly we do the same things, right? And mostly the places that are different are the same, because life is the same, you know? We're the same. We're supposed to be enemies, and they just keep telling us we are. You know, and they come up with these trans people, right? Used to be gay people. They used to use gay people. But then the gays, they were able to marry. The gays were able to marry. Although now they're talking about turning that back. I think that's more just to get, again, their base, the MAGA folks that make less than X amount of dollars, to be mad. You know what I mean? And they'll make it seem mad. Just, you know. But we're not enemies, man. We need to team up. You know? No matter where you're from. It's not about where you're from. It's how much you make. That's the bottom line. I think I'm done with the paper. Well, thanks for listening.